Hello and welcome to ARIRANG News Break. I'm Han-daeun in Seoul. We start at Korea's National Assembly with the dust settling on last week's general election. Korea's three main political parties are focusing on who will lead them now. First off, the ruling Saenuri Party is currently being led by floor leader Won Yu-chol after the party chair resigned following the election. But he says he's considering passing the torch to the incoming floor leader who will take office in May, as many lawmakers, including those from his inner circle, have voiced objections to keeping him as party chair. The main opposition, Minju Party of Korea's interim leader Kim Jong-in is facing a similar situation. Some party members insist Kim should take the chairmanship without an election, but others say it's time to give others a chance to lead. The minor opposition People's Party is seeing the veteran lawmakers in its ranks vie for leadership roles, including a four-term lawmaker who was once a close aide to former President Kim Dae-jung. The final session of the outgoing 19th National Assembly starts tomorrow, and lawmakers will convene for the first time since the general election. But as the election results flipped Korea's political landscape on its head, there are growing concerns that the new dynamic will only exacerbate the party's inability to thrash out their differences and get some key bills passed. Our Kim Young-gil reports.
The ruling Saenuri Party hopes to pass 4 labor reform bills, a bill to promote the service industry, and an anti-cyber terrorism bill during April's extra parliamentary session. The newly emboldened opposition bloc, however, has refused to endorse any of them. The main opposition Minju Party of Korea says the labor reform bills will only increase the number of non-regular workers and make it easier for companies to fire their employees. The party also says the service industry promotion bill could lead to the privatization of all medical services, which would trigger a dramatic increase in medical costs. Concerning the anti-cyber terrorism bill, the Minju Party is against setting up a cybersecurity center under the authority of the National Intelligence Service. The main opposition party says it will focus on other economic bills designed to protect small and medium-sized businesses. The minor opposition People's Party agrees with the Minju Party in extending the term of a special committee investigating this Seoul ferry disaster that killed more than 300 people just over 2 years ago. The 20th National Assembly will begin on May 30th. Kim Young-gil, ARIRANG News.
Some heavy remarks coming from South Korea's biggest ally, the United States. The man next in line to lead American troops stationed in Korea says the U.S. needs to continue providing a nuclear umbrella to South Korea. He also rejected claims made by Donald Trump, the Republican frontrunner in the race for the White House, saying Trump has got his math wrong on an important issue. Here's our Defense Ministry correspondent, Kim Hyun-bin.
The incoming commander of U.S. Forces Korea has stressed the importance of South Korea being covered by the U.S. nuclear umbrella. Speaking at his Senate confirmation hearing in Washington on Tuesday, General Vincent Brooks said his removal could make Seoul contemplate its own nuclear armament in the face of threats posed by North Korea. He added that he could not see a time in the foreseeable future when the U.S. could or would remove it. The general also stressed that South Korea is shouldering a significant load of the cost for keeping the roughly 29,000 U.S. troops stationed in the country. He rejected Republican presidential frontrunner Donald Trump's claims that Seoul contributes next to nothing compared to what it gets in return. Brooks noted that South Korea paid some $880 million US last year, and the share goes up according to inflation every year. As well as paying around half of the total cost of stationing troops, the general says South Korea is paying more than 90% of the $10.8 billion to relocate U.S. troops to a massive new base in Pyeongtaek, south of Seoul. Brooks also emphasized the need for a U.S. missile defense system known as THAAD to be deployed to the Korean peninsula to protect the South from North Korea's growing ballistic missile threats. If confirmed, Brooks will replace General Curtis Scaparrotti as U.S. Forces Korea commander. Kim Hyun-bin, ARIRANG News.
Moving on to the latest in the U.S. presidential election, frontrunners Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton scored big wins in the New York primary today. For more on the results, we now turn to Hwang Ho-jun, who's online for us now. Ho-jun, what can you tell us?
Well, Talon, although there weren't any major upsets today, winning the Empire State was more than significant for both Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton because it moves them both that much closer to sewing up the nomination. So let's take a look at the numbers on the Republican side. As of now, with 98% of the votes counted, Trump, the real estate mogul and Queens native, claimed victory with 60.5% of the vote. Ohio Governor John Kasich is second with 25.1%, and Texas Senator Ted Cruz has 14.5%. Of the 95 Republican delegates up for grabs in today's primary, Trump won 89 and Kasich got 3. It's important to notice that to win the nomination at the party convention in the summer, a total of 1,230 delegates are needed on the Republican side. And as Trump said in his victory speech, his main rival Ted Cruz was, quote, just about mathematically eliminated. Cruz has not yet responded to that comment. On the Democratic side, Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State and ex-New York Senator, clinched a crucial win against her rival Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders with 57.9% of the vote to his 40.1%. That's 42.1, rather. Clinton said in her victory speech that the win in her adopted home state is personal for her. It's also significant in that it has dampened the momentum of Sanders, who is coming off a string of victories. Of the 247 delegates up for grabs for the Democrats, Clinton will take 135 and Sanders will get 104. Democratic candidates need 2383 delegates to win the nomination. Back to you.
Thank you, Ho-jun, for that. And back here at home, Korea's producer prices edged down to their lowest point in 6 years last month, continuing the steady downward streak they've been on for a while. The Bank of Korea says the prices were down 0.1% in March from the previous month. The drop mainly came from lower electricity, gas, and other utility bills. They declined over 3% compared to a month before. With producer prices being a major indicator for consumer prices, it's widely forecast prices will remain low. And that does it for now. Stick around for more news updates coming up at 6 p.m. Korea time.